Hello everyone. Today we're going to unravel one of the biggest mysteries of the global economy: who really holds the world's debt? Using official data from 2025, we'll explore the calculations behind the numbers that shape everyone's economy. Get ready for a mathematical and critical journey. First, let's understand how to calculate absolute debt. The formula is simple. We multiply a country's GDP by its debt as a percentage of GDP. For example, the USA has a GDP of $27.7 trillion and a debt of 122.3% of GDP. 27.7 times 1.223 equals $33.9 trillion in debt. This means that the total debt of the USA is $33.9 trillion, equivalent to 122.3% of its GDP. Now let's look at the ranking. Look at these numbers. USA 33.9 trillion, 122.3% of GDP. China 14.85 trillion, 83.4%. Japan 10.72 trillion, 255.2%. France 3.37 trillion, 110.6%. Germany 2.84 trillion, 62.9%. Together, these countries carry 71% of global debt. But why is this problematic? Japan, with a debt 2.5 times greater than its GDP, can pay it because much of it is held by domestic investors in yen, minimizing exchange rate risks, and because it pays low interest rates, 0.5%. On the other hand, Brazil, with a debt of 84.68% of GDP, faces pressure to cut social spending due to higher interest rates, 10.75%. These numbers reveal a structural inequality. Rich countries like Japan access low interest rates, 0.5%, while peripheral nations like Brazil pay double-digit rates, 10.75%, due to higher perceived risk and dependence on external financing. This creates a pyramid: top countries that refinance debts and maintain public services. Base: nations that go into debt just to survive. To stabilize debt, a country needs a primary surplus. For example, Brazil, with a growth rate of 0.2%, needs a surplus of 2.52% of GDP to contain the debt. This is based on the formula where the GDP growth rate must exceed the interest rate, or a primary surplus must compensate for the difference. But this can mean cuts in education and health. These data are not just numbers. They are stories of how the global financial system privileges some and excludes others. What if there was an economy where growth didn't mean accumulating debt? Share your vision and follow for more analyses that challenge the system. Until next time,